Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name's Tracy. Oh, cold. I don't know why it's warm outside. Anyway, I got a couple minutes for folks to show up since this is live. And I'm going to show you what I got, and then I'm going to show you my plan and where I've gotten so far with it. Um, 49&Market came out with a new collection, and this is Nuneka, and I hope I'm saying her name right, and an Art House Whimsy collection. So you guys know how I feel about Art House Whimsy. And the collection is called Faded Memory Lane, and it's very, very neutral. So I'm going to show you what I got. To start, I got, and I'll go through these, I got two of these junk journal sets. I may use them both. I may give one away. I don't know, but I'll show you what's inside. And then I got rub-on transfers, which I always love a rub-on. Hi, Elizabeth. And these are really beautiful. Lots of hearts, but again, lots of neutrals. And then I got, these are wildflower laser cuts. So all these you see right here are all laser cuts, and they come out of here beautifully. And I love all the cone flowers. And then I got, this is another laser cut. This is film strip and postage laser cuts. Hi, Teresa. And so all of these are laser cuts. So there's no white borders. You guys know how I feel about that. And then these are cello stickers, and I absolutely love, love, love these. Um, so they be kind of like the Tim Holtz sellotape, only they have stuff on them. And I bought two of that because I love them. And then the ephemera set, which is a humongous, a lot of stuff. Hi, Pam. Hi, Michelle. And then this is another of the junk journal. And then I got the 6x8 papers. And I only bought two. And I bought everything at a cherry on top, by the way. And they sell these in individuals. I had, you know, a limited budget, so I didn't buy the 12x12 paper pads, but they have two of them. One of them are patterns like these, and the other are solids that coordinate. But look at how gorgeous. Just beautiful, just beautiful. And then I bought this one. And these may be covers or, and I love blue, and especially this blue. And so, or they may be covers, or I may just hoard them. So let's go through a little bit. Hi, Lori. And then I'm going to show you all the supplies I got out. This is going to be a pretty big journal. So we'll start with the 6x8 paper pack. Um, so this is the cover, Faded Memory Lane. And of course, they don't waste anything at 49&Market. And then this is just kind of a background piece. This is be more like what the solid packs would look like. And oh, there is a little bit of pink in there. Okay, good to know. Good to know. That looks like it would be tattered rose. Um, like cracked walls and postage and film strips and just all the fun stuff. And all real super neutral colors. Here's this blue one again. Yummy. And I have some denim fabric that I plan on using in this journal. Okay, I need to get out some pink. Okay, good to know. So here's another on the back side. So the sad part is these are double-sided, so I have to decide what side to use. Hey, Maddie. And this one, I love this lace look. And in a lot of my blank pages, I intend to try and mimic these looks in a sense. So then it looks like it starts over. So we've got a blue piece here. And then I may have used this piece in another, I've used a little bit of this because I started the journal. I love these flowers with the um, like newspaper print. Here's this blue one again. Absolutely love. Okay. And looks like we're kind of right back to the start here. I'm so happy that there's plenty of this. Hi, Linda. Hi, Chow. Yeah, we're back to the beginning. So those are the 6x8 collection. So it looks like you get 9 double-sided papers, 3 of each design, plus a bonus sheet on the reverse of the cover, which is this one right here. It's nice heavy paper. I'd say it's a good at least 100 pounds. There's the paper. And I used paper to choose my colors, but I didn't notice the pink, so I'll have to go back through and find some pink too, because, you know, pink. All right, let's look at the ephemera set. There are 118 die cut pieces here. I'm going to put them on this because it's too hard to pick up stuff off of that. Oh, golly, get out of my way, everything. There we go. It'll be easier to pick up off of this thing. I'm going to have to find some sort of other container situation for these things. But one thing I love about 49&Market is even the piece of paper that they, you know, use to back these has a design on it, so it's usable. And there is just, and I went through these and I kind of went large to small, and now I've just dumped them all, but that's okay. So lots and lots and lots of cool ephemera. Now this is white on the back side, so you could decorate that if you wanted to, or just utilize it in whatever way you wanted. I love this little envelope. We've got another envelope with some botany, more botany, more botany, butterflies, postage pages. That's cool. A giant 10-cent stamp. Everything you could possibly want. And then there are some other large kind of postage edge. Aren't those beautiful? Let's see. Lots and lots of little stuff. Words. Plenty of words. Oh, I like this definition. Amazing. That's amazing. There's a couple of people, not a lot of people, which is fine with me because you guys know, but I do plan on using people in this journal. Got some pretty cool little antique pictures. Nap time. Enjoy. Excuse me. I was outside all morning. Mike somehow roped me into helping him. He got a new Costco account. And when I say that, I mean he picks up their scrap exclusively. And so he roped me into helping him this morning. And I was so tired afterward, I just crashed out for like 3 hours. Tag. There's lots and lots of tags in the junk journal kit. Lots and lots of postage. Plenty of hearts. And words, 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 words. So many words. Here's a bust. It's kind of cool. Little flags. And so it's a huge ephemera kit. I like that. Soul in sync with nature. So I felt like this was kind of springtimey. That goes back for now. I had a long, happy nap. But I don't sleep at night, so those naps are super important. I mean, I go to sleep. I go to sleep like sometimes 8 o'clock I fall asleep. And then I wake up about 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm done. I cannot go back to sleep. Little old brain turns on and does its thing, and sometimes it's a good creative thing, and sometimes it's a nasty, you know, anxiety thing where I'm laying there panicked. And if you've ever had a panic attack, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No fun, especially when you're trying to dang sleep. And I have a lot of nightmares too, so there's that. Okay, come here. Come on. Oh, for Pete's sake, get in there. They need to invent paper that's magnetic. Okay, that's the ephemera pack. Now I will pull out the, I'm not going to open this one because I already have one opened. Oh, which one have I opened? I've opened this one. Okay. This is the junk journal kit. And so you get 93 double-sided die cut pieces, including tickets, tags, pockets, etc. Plus, again, you get this lovely backer piece. So in here, you've got pockets that are pre-scored. You could use whatever side you wanted. Got lots of little circly things, which I like these. I like to make little dangles and stuff from them. Got little flags that are both double-sided. You've got corner pockets that are double-sided, so you can put them on any corner you want. You've got tags, you've got journaling cards, double-sided. Lots of tags, which is good because sometimes I get tired of making tags. You've got this, and Nunica has a tutorial showing how she made a journal using this and these, which she folded in half. I'm a little bit reluctant to fold these in half. I'm such a hoarder, but aren't these pretty? Okay, that one. Love this one. This one has, the butterfly has the, print. And then the daisy on this one, or the coneflower, whatever it is. So each one of those is different. You have that, and then you have all of these little, like tickets and little frames. And where'd my tweezers go? Little, these kind of frames that these little circles popped out of. There's one in here in particular I wanted to show you that I loved. And then these are the back sides for these. You know, you got to punch your own holes and stuff, but those are kind of cool. Where is it? There should be one with a clock. I saw somewhere. Oh, maybe that, no, that one's in the, I'll show you. Let's move these guys here for a minute. Let's get them back in the bag. So that's the junk journal set. So it's basically a small journal ready to go. As you guys know, if you haven't been following me, I have stopped calling these things junk journals, and I call them stuff journals because there's some junk and there's some stuff and there's some art. So all the things. And I like it that way. I like it with all the things. I like a junk journal. Don't get me wrong. I like an art journal. I like a travel journal. Those are cool. I have no use for it because I don't travel, but lots of people do. And I do like modes of transportation, particularly airplanes. Not that I like to fly on them, but I like antique planes and stuff like that. And trains and old cars and all that stuff. Come here. There we go. Okay, so that's those. Now we have the, this is the stickers, and what you see is what you get here. So you get this side and this side. These These are the laser cuts, and I've shown you guys the 49 Market laser cuts before. They're really fabulous. Come on. So this is the backer page, and guess what? You can cut all those out. And these laser cuts, what I love about them is they come apart so easily. In fact, I'll probably take them apart and put them, you know, in with the ephemera. But you've got no white borders. And for instance, this one right here, sometimes there's little nibs on there, and all you need to do is take your whatever you like to sand with and sand them off. But look, little butterflies come out as postage, and then these come out. So you can use these as frames somewhere. And then you have that film strip piece. Isn't that cool? So that's these laser cuts. These are the postage laser cuts. And then the other laser cuts are flowers. Let's get those. This must be the one with the clock and the dragonfly. I don't know where that is. Maybe it's a rub-on. This one I saw a clock and a dragonfly, but I don't know. Because I watched the reveal of these with Nunica and Olga and Tracy from Art House Whimsy. So, like, look at this ginkgo. It's absolutely perfect. And the back sides are kind of gray. So I find that kind of cool. It's got a bird, and I love ginkgo, though. They're so pretty. Some butterfly or moths. I think those are moths. I don't know how to tell the difference. Got a little toadstools, and here's a dragonfly. I knew there was a dragonfly in here somewhere. So those are those. And then finally, I've got the rub-ons. And this is the first thing I bought for myself in a long time. You know, other than things I need like glue and that kind of garbage. So this is just the cover sheet. And the rub-ons. You get 3 sheets. So you've got all these little moth butterfly things that are imperfect. Got all these little numbers, little hearts, little clocks, little parts of tickets. See, there's not a lot of pink in this, but there is pink. And then you've got this just sort of abstract look. So that's the stuff, you guys. Let's put it here. And then I'm going to show you now the things that I have taken out to coordinate. Well, first I'll show you what I've built on my signatures so far. So I need to cut those down still, but I have 8 signatures here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have 3 or 4 pages per signature. Hi, Jim. But I have done on each signature, I've done a watercolor paper. And the reason for that is because I want to do some heavy texture and mixed media. So with that, I'm going to need a heavier paper that's going to withstand all that. And maybe I want to do flip outs and things like that from those. And so I've used those. And then I have done these. And what these are, I'm going to show you what these are because I bought, get out of my way. I bought the wrong thing. Where are you guys? Find one here. Where are you? Well, here's one. I bought these for my sourdough bread, but they weren't what I thought they were. And so I don't want to use them, but they're really nice bags. So I took these bags and I made signatures with them, and I just covered them with, various collage, and I'll decorate them, of course. And, some will maybe have pockets and some won't. And then I dyed some paper, sort of a blue, and this is what I've been doing the last couple of days, is decorating this paper. And so that won't be with a lot of mixed media. That's just going to be mostly stenciling and stamping. So there's one signature, and that's what we're going to work on. And then this is the other side of that paper bag. And what I did was I just, it's shiny on the inside, so I covered the outsides, and then I can decorate those. And then here's another of those pages that I experimented with. Um, that may be a little bit too much for me. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll see. Okay, and then this one, which I really love this one. And it's just, again, it's those clear pages. So, and here's where I used a piece of that paper. And then I took out my little bee stamp because there's no bees in here and I like bees. So, um, there's that. And then here's another one of these that I stenciled. So I might do a fourth page in each signature, which might be things like music pages and stuff like that. And here's another plain one. So I just covered. And here's this. I just stenciled and stamped. And I'll show you the stamps that I took out. Here's one. Okay, so here's one of the one of the clear pocket ones. And I actually put pockets in it with some of that paper. And then this is just some, like for sewing pattern. And so you can put stuff in there and you'll still be able to see it through the other side. And then here's another page. And I haven't decorated this page yet. Set that one aside because that needs to be done. Takes a while to do these, and we'll do one tonight. And then, so here's the blue paper, and it's really not super blue, but I I used archival ink and to dye the paper, and trust me, friends, don't do that. I made a hot mess. Oh, look, I got that upside down, but it doesn't matter. I made a hot mess. Here's another that I really kind of junked up. And then a page that I used a big old doily to, act as a resist, like a stencil. And here's the last one. And this is a fashion book that I got at Sally Army. And I just covered that's another page I need to do. I just covered the page with those dresses. Yeah, I love the soft colors too. And, typically that's not necessarily me, but I can and I do love them. Oh, I fell in love with this collection. So I did some swatching and I came up with colors. Of course, like I said, I didn't see the pink. And then I added some that I felt coordinated and there were little bits and pieces. So I've got Rusty Hinge, Ice Spruce, Faded Jeans, Stormy Sky, Old Paper, of course, Vintage Photo. This is Pumice Stone. This is a custom blend because they didn't have any when I was shopping years ago. Brush Corduroy and Antique Linen of the Distress line of oxides. And then I've got this Gina K, which is craft color. So, and let me swatch that too. Let me see. I have a little swatch. Here's where I swatched my colors. Let's swatch this. And that's doggone close to Brush Corduroy. Doggone close. Okay. Then I took out I took out a couple of my lunar paste, so cookie dough and gur. And then I took out my Tim Holtz paints, and of course I've got frayed burlap here, looking for the neutral tones, pumice stone, antique linen. This is going to be weathered wood. I've got here speckled egg, crushed olive, which I may or may not use, antique linen, and picket fence. And then I've got here my Waverly chalk paints. So I've got here, you can see the colors: agave, maize, moss, and hazelnut. And then basically the same of spray stains, and then the antique linen oxide spray. I don't have a lot of oxide sprays. I mostly have spray stains, but pumice stone, old paper, antique linen, stormy sky, weathered wood, rusty hinge. And then I took out distressed crayons. So all kind of those same color ranges. And again, I need to grab a pink. And then I also took out these paints because they're more heavy bodied paints, and I'm not going to use them to, roll off on the jelly plate. I'll use them to actually just paint on the page. Hi, Terry. And then I took out some embossing folders. I took out just some distress and embossing powder, and I'll probably use some of my other, the glazes. And then some of these, which I'm not sure how I'm going to use them yet, but I might use them. So I took out anything I might use. I took out Flower Shop. So it kind of had similar, this is kind of a similar flower situation. And so, yeah, this is Flower Shop. And then I took out this one, which is etc. I've got this one here, which I have the stamp on something, and then these little guys here. I took out my Lindy's, but I experimented with them, and I didn't really like the way they were coming out. Not that I don't like them, I just didn't like the way they were working out on what I was doing. Okay, what else? What else do I have here? I've got, of course, my matte opaque texture paste and my crackle texture paste. Um, I've got, let's move these scissors before I drop them on my foot. I've got some denim fabric. I've got some Tim Holtz fabrics, which if you look at this with the swatches, it goes very nicely. And these are just scraps because I only mainly use scraps. These are the stamps that I mainly used and I'm going to use tonight. These are Stampers Anonymous, old. I got these from Tracy Schultz years ago. They belong to her sister. And so she treasured them, so I treasure them. Um, it was really thoughtful to hand over to me. But, grunge isn't everyone's style, so there's that. Um, I've got some old lace, and I've got more fabric and more lace, and of course tons more. And then was watching Jennifer Beebe. If you follow Jennifer Beebe art, she had some of these, and I went, wait, I have some of those. And these are basically, these will make little snaps, which I can use for decorating. And so plus I can use and this is old, this is like from my grandmother's collection. This can't be that old though, 1150. 1985. This was $11.50 in 1985. Oh, look, see, you need a special tool, but I could probably figure that out. So what you do is you basically cover the snap. This thing, let's see if I can figure this out. I'm missing parts. Insert small red adapter into rubber sleeve of metal holder. Okay, yeah, I don't have the metal holder. Okay, maybe these aren't what I thought they were, but I may use them anyway. Dritz. Yeah, we're definitely gonna go through some mixed media, and I have tons and tons of this kind of stuff that has been saved and passed on through the years from my grandmother's sewing stuff. So yeah, there's going to be lots and lots of mixed media fun here. But the first thing I want to start with, of course, is my signatures, and that's the way I like to build, is I like to build my signatures from the build my journal from the signatures up. And so let's pull, because I think this is one that I haven't done yet. You haven't done anything with it. Let's pull this one, because I do like to lay them out and get them flat again too. And I've decided, since I haven't used my Gina K brushes in years, that they are going to be used for oxides. I think I was just strictly using them for inks, but I have some strictly for inks. So, and got a bunch of stencils. Now, where did I put them? Oh yeah, here we go. Now I took out a lot of stencils. So I think I'm gonna go this page here. And I'm gonna go very light to them. You know what? Let's grab the pink that I saw, which I'm positive was probably Tattered Rose. So it's kind of a soft, soft pink. And let's grab the pinkest brush I can find. And let me just kind of clean off any muck. And let's go in and just add some color here. I'm not trying to do anything perfect. Oh boy, that really is off on its fold, isn't it? Let's try and get that straight. Things that aren't straight bother me. And that's why you won't see me put a page that's supposed to be vertical, horizontal in my journal. It will just make me insane. Sorry, not sorry, is what it is. Okay, so that makes that page look 100% better. Hi, again. And then let's grab the little sunflower stamp. And I think I want to stamp that. I'm going to stamp that with pumice stone. No, you know what? I'm going to stamp it with Stormy Sky. And let's dedicate one of these to it because it's small enough. Make sure it's going to stick. I have Trinity ones for the oxides, but I don't want to. They're way over there and just a little bit more difficult to grab because of the situation that I have them stored on. Let's do the second one. Do this one down here. Flip her over. So just again trying to mimic the design of the papers that were already done. Do here. And then I think we'll grab the big one and do that in the pumice stone. Where is my pumice stone? I'm going to need to refill this. I can tell. I think we'll throw some pumice stone and some antique linen on here. See what we get. It's just easier to grab from this little Gina K thing. Yeah, you can barely see that, and I'm okay with that. Let's do this one in vintage photo because I can. See, I don't want to use a lot of water with these papers. They don't they don't react to water the way you wish they would. So that's how that page is going to look. I'm going to leave the inside. So next thing I want to do is I want to find the brush I was using. I'm going to do the edges. And I have here this big brush for these edges. So lighter weight things will go on these pages. Not a lot of heavy stuff. I'm excited to do the watercolor pages and really get some texture going on in those. I mean, you could put texture on these, but they really would just be floppy because this is just printer paper. And it's kind of broken down because it's been, you know, soaked in water. And I put vinegar in there too. And vinegar puts an interesting finish on it. It's like it's almost a texture itself. And I'm really kind of coming in on this one. And this could be a whole journaling page. Could be, but maybe not. Oh yeah, I forgot to pull out what I printed from Art House Whimsy that I feel like will go nicely on here. And that is, I of course printed more of these wings that you guys have seen me use. And then I've printed these women, which to me, these are the kind of people I would prefer to use in a journal, like really artsy people. And this page. And these would look cool in those film strips. And then a couple of the large ones because I think that they're just gorgeous. Hi, Delina. Mike's forgotten that I'm live. He's headed in here. Maybe. I heard my door, my outer door. Hi. Yeah. Ugh, I have a headache. I think I got too much sun today. I never go outside, you guys, so 10 minutes is too much sun. I think I do want a little bit of love on here. Let's go with this. I never know which is the right way. I think this is. And this is a Crafter's Workshop stencil. Let's do that in ice spruce. Oops, I moved the stencil. Dang it, Bobby. That's okay. No biggie. I was working at Costco with Mike. Um, loading in, I've got this, no, I don't. Loading into our truck a bunch of metal pieces. So a lot of the shipments and stuff that they get in at Costco um, comes on these metal racks, and they just basically get thrown away. So Mike has a deal with the local Costco here in Huntsville and now a Costco in Madison where we can go get the stuffs. Let's do old paper. I just have a trouble leaving things blank, you know? Just a little bit of texture going on here. Flip it over and let's grab, I want to do this one. Oh yeah, I like that. There. There's another signature done. Yesterday I sat outside for a while. Mike got in one of his, deals that he gets, he got this gorgeous swing, metal swing thing. I sat there out there and just chilled in that swing for hours yesterday. But I wasn't necessarily in the sun. I was partly in the shade. Just trying to get some vitamin D and kind of build up my tolerance for the weather that's coming here in Alabama. Look at me remembering to clean off. I should put a piece of paper down here to catch it, but I never remember. So then we take the metal to the metal recycling place and get money for it. So that's kind of became Mike's hobby. And as time has gone on, he's done it almost every day. He'll either, Costco will call him. There's a couple of other local businesses that call him to come get metal. Or he'll just go hunting the neighborhood because in Alabama, that's a thing. People put stuff by the side of the road, washing machines, all that stuff. And we don't honestly, I mean, the extra money is great, but Mike just kind of does it as his hobby. But sometimes he likes to guilt me into helping him, and I don't want to. I don't like manual labor very much. I'm good at it. I mean, I'm a hard worker, but my body doesn't do well with it. I figure I might as well use these, whether they make anything good or not. I don't really care. Since I'm cleaning them off anyway, right? Wow, where did my rag go? I just had 2 seconds ago. Nope. Oh, I put it back where it goes. This shock. And I'll just set that aside and it might become a pocket or it might become nothing. Who knows? Hi, Paula. Ah, I also started something that I probably will build onto, and this looks like it's almost dry. It's still cool to the touch, but I'm gonna grab something here. Looking for my neutrals. Antique linen. I don't necessarily want antique linen. Bundled sage. Why not? Let's see. There's another experiment here. So this is crackle paste. Make sure it's good and crackled. And now I need it to be wet also. So I'm going to wet that with just some water. And this is on watercolor paper. And let me get I can't really use much of that. Put back, but I never use this stuff anyway. I'm just going to set it aside over here and let that water dry so I can dump the rest of it back in the bowl. Hey, Ellen. Okay. Takes a little bit longer to heat up because it's, on water instead of a sticky ink. Getting quite the texture going here. So, yeah, but you gotta experiment. That's the rule. Okay, so let's now grab this weathered wood, I think. And I'm going to totally spray this. And yes, I'm spraying my hand. It is what it is, friends. And I'm not using my splat box. So, of course, all of that is going to resist this. But it will go into the cracks. And then I want to add, I'm going to go in with my Paper Artsy infusions. Drip a little bit of rust. I love the messy edge. Okay, take care, Jim. I know we've got some expected here too. I love this Paper Artsy stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. And I'm going to actually hit that with my dryer. I am, by the way. I didn't see you come in. You just got the Paper Artsy stuff? I'm a rebel. Thank you. I know. No, I'm just lazy. Okay. So you see this like this now, but it could be a butterfly or could be a pocket. Let's look at a piece of that ephemera. I'm a mess. Oh, you should have seen how messy I was today after I um worked. I want this ginkgo leaf. Ugh, my head is filming. That may not be the right color range. That's okay. Let's grab one of these girls. And we'll grab, see what else do I have out. I think that's the only thing I have out. Nope, I have these out. So this, I may need to dull down a little bit. That green may be a little too intense. So how do you think I might do that? Plans? Ideas? I have an idea. I do. This is frayed burlap. I used the bundled sage distress glaze, which is really pretty, but it's not proper for what I'm trying to do here. Color wise, it doesn't jibe with my color scheme. So as you know, if you didn't watch Tim or you never watched Tim, this paint does some amazing stuff. So that's going to tone that down a little bit, the brightness of that green. It's just a little bit too bright. Let's dry it. Hey, Melanie. A silicone matte session. Okay. Yeah, I may have to come in here with some white. But I did tone it down in some places. Needs more. Okay. No problemo. You know what's next, right? Little gesso. And I think what I'll do with the gesso is roll that on. So I need a messy mat. Oh, I bet you can't tell what I rolled last on there. Oh, come on, roll on. We're getting there. That's much calmer. Oh, happy almost Friday. Yeah. uh, Mike has his nephew's coming to visit. He just moved from Oklahoma to Nashville, and so he's coming to visit. All right, so I want to, let's just say, still I haven't made a plan for this piece at all. I'm just kind of playing around. Let's go in here with this Uncharted Mariner and get some depth of color going. You guys can't, you know, I can't help myself with color. I just have to. I just have to have it. Changes everything, doesn't it? Gotta have color. So what if I needed something here to kind of coordinate? What could I do? Well, I could grab pencil. Mm, Blew up these berries. Oh, sorry about that. The gesso I rolled on was, this was Liquitex Basics Acrylic Gesso. Hobby Lobby, $9.49. Okay, and let's get a little bit of, and these are my chalk pencils. You guys know I love these things. Let's get a little bit of what going on. A little bit more rusty tone going on. So there's no rule that says you can't alter your ephemera any way you want. Okay, and then let's get this cone going a little bit deeper in color. And let's get a little bit of this kind of khaki yellow color going on. And so this is not shiny paper, which makes it excellent for being able to alter with a pencil like this. Okay, and then we want, I don't think I have anything that's kind of sagey green in these pencils. I'm looking. No, we'll leave that. So now I have altered these to the point where they coordinate it much better with this. Um, I've never met these people, so no, because I'm super shy. I'm super shy, you guys. I know it doesn't seem possible, but it is. Um, so I'm dreading it. But on the plus side, it's I mean, it's Mike's family. So he's more responsible to entertain than I am. Guess we could turn this into a little card front, huh? Get some little edgies going on here. And let's get a little something going on back behind there. Got this handy. And I don't know. I just feel super nervous when people come around. This is just some old Butterick or Simplicity. I think this is a, some of these are different colors than others. So this is a warmer tone. I don't know who this is, but I have another one here that's kind of a cooler tone. Mm. Is this it? No, I must have put it away. Golly, me putting something away. Okay, you guys seen my tweezers? Let's grab one of these cello tapes. They go. I'm afraid I'm going to drop this whole shebang on the floor. Thank you, Paula. Look, this one right here will be perfect. Try not to get my fingerprints on it too much. Okay, let's get you folded back up. And get a piece of tape on here. I really need my tweezers. They're lost somewhere. I think we'll go something like that. Something like that. Glue. On. These things are hard to pick up with my bare hands. Look how, you guys, it is what it is. I'm painterly. So for the next few weeks, this is what I'm going to be doing. I think I got that stamp on there crooked, but it's okay. It's fine. Okay, let's grab my little brush, a little black ink. You get down. Down. It's trying to stick to a lot of different textures. Oh, do you? Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're turquoise color. You're right. Thank you so much. Okay, now that I don't need them. Okay, let's get a little bit of color going on underneath this. Bring us a shadow. That little. All I really need you to stick is right there, mister. Shadow going there. Try and get my shadow halfway straight. Not to be perfect. It needs to be darker towards the edge here. Let's get a little shadow going on under these petals. Thanks, Delina. Right? Let's just get Reagan up in here to help us stay organized. Some of my paint is peeling up, which I'm perfectly good with. And of course, the shadow's not going to show up on the cello tape. I know it's not cello tape. It can't be cello. It's got to be cello. Okay, and then, so I think what I would do then is probably decal trim this. Versus trying to scrape it. Okay, and then go ahead and edit. I think it could use a little bit of stamping. Give me words. I took out words here. Words right here. For that, I'm most likely going to go in with my things I can't find. I've rearranged this room, now I can't find anything. I'm looking for my archival inks. I don't see them anywhere. We use the mini ones. I don't know what I did with them. This is frayed burlap. You want a little bit up here, kind of very faint, just like so. Do a little bit right there. And then a final touch, which is going to be and I can save these, and I most likely will, and poke them into little things in the journal. I just love doing that, like, you know, that. Where is my... These things don't work very good. I need a better situation. There we go. Not much I can do there. It's really, really wet still. Once it's dry, I could end up doing some stitching on it. I do plan on stitching in this journal for sure. So I kind of strayed pretty far from the original colors. But that's okay because It's just what you do. So that's it for tonight. What did I do? I showed you all the stuff I got. It's all over the floor right now from Art House Whimsy and 49&Market and Nunica. So all three. And then did one page, one for my signatures. And then just maybe a pocket, a journaling card, who knows? I mean, it's really, really messy on the other side. So you got that. But thanks so much for coming to hang out. I should be back tomorrow morning. That's my plan. But if I don't, I don't. I am sorry. It just depends on how I feel. You guys see, I did a lot of manual labor today and I have fibromyalgia. And so sometimes I'm okay afterwards until I'm not. Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's the point I want to make is because lots of my friends are card makers, is what, you're not limited to doing journals with these types of pieces, with these kinds of textures and stuff like that. You slap that baby on a card front and, let me see here. I know I wouldn't put it on a white one, but it's all I got in front of me. Especially if you stitched it down, would look great. It actually doesn't look bad on white. Anyways, thanks a lot for coming. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you feel like it. Take care. Bye.